The madhab of Palestine is not the madhab of Iran. Iran is majority Shia. Palestinians are majority Sunni. So why would a Salafi not let this go? This question needs an answer. Because when a Salafi says, may Allah destroy the Zionist and Iran, that means that when a Shia keeps telling me we should look for unity, I reply, but what if the other side doesn't want unity with me? Number one. Number two, it is vital for me to understand that Salafis have hijacked Sunni Islam. Many of your average Sunnis that all of you grew up with don't have that hatred for Shia. You know, the Sunni world, in many cases, it depends where the Sunni is from. A Sunni from India and Pakistan, you'll find that they'll have an immense love for Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Even if it's gone more extreme over the years, originally, the Sunni in many parts of Pakistan would have great love for Ahlul Bayt. You'll find, however, that in certain Arab majority states, the Sunni, there will be quite an animosity towards the followers of Ahlul Bayt. But generally speaking, when we talk about the UK, if I was to ask all of you here in the UK, do you have any Sunni friends? You'll find that many will say, yes, we have Sunni friends we've grown up with. So then someone, when they tell me about Shia Sunni unity, that unity with our Sunni friends can be achieved. But the problem is that modern day Sunni speakers, public figures, tend to be Salafi, not Sunni. In which sense, the mainstream Sunni are no longer the loud voices of Speaker's Corner. The Salafi has taken over the YouTube scene. You're not going to find the moderate Sunni who is the most prominent speaker in the Sunni world. No. Now the most famous speakers in the Sunni YouTube scene, TikTok, Instagram, social media, are Salafis. The Salafi has no rahmah for Sunnis who don't follow what they follow, let alone Shia. Therefore, when we come and look at this, many began to ask a question, even the Sunni world, that if Iran has stood up, and Iran is the only one that stood up, why would you have such hate and animosity towards Iran? I'd like to put a disclaimer here. When we come to defend Iran, I am not coming here as a puppet to come and defend a nation. Every nation of Muslims in the world has its positives and has its negatives. There isn't a single infallible, ma'soom country in the world. Take me to Iraq, if it's majority Shia, it has its issues. Take me to Lebanon, take me to Syria, take me to Pakistan, take me to Tunisia, take me to Morocco, West Africa, East Africa. There is no infallible Muslim country. Anyone who believes there's a Muslim country that is ma'soom of error, ma'soom from hypocrisy, ma'soom from arrogance, no, all of these can exist even in the highest officials. Sometimes the highest officials can also make mistakes. Therefore, when a person comes to defend Iran, sometimes a person may imagine that we look at Iran as infallible and that Iran has no mistakes and that there is no corruption in it. No, even the ministers and the government officials in Iran themselves admit to certain mistakes being made over the past 45 years. There hasn't been one scholar in Iran who hasn't pointed out that there have been errors, there have been misjudgments, there have been issues. But this issue raises a number of important points about Iran from different angles. Number one, the theology of Iran, the politics of Iran, and also importantly, Iran's role within Syria. Iran's role within Syria remains a huge issue for the Salafi. And that's something that I'd like to look at tonight. Because many times the Salafi was raising one particular point. The Salafi was saying something very clearly. That why should I support a country that has the blood of 1 million Syrians on their hands? How many times have you heard that line? That they would say that I do not trust Iran because a country that tells me it wants to give freedom to the Palestinians is the same country that has the blood of an innocent 1 million Syrians on their hands. When someone raises this point, how do I answer it? Say I want to be defensive and I want to protect Iran and I want to say that Iran is good. Iran supported? Were they in Syria? Did they kill innocent Syrian Sunnis? Did they behead? Did they assassinate? Because the one who has that hatred for Iran is saying, don't give me none of your Palestine gimmicks from Iran. If they truly loved us, they wouldn't have butchered 1 million Syrians within Syria. Let's tonight examine the basis of the Salafi hate for Iran. Where does it come from? What is the history of it? And how do we reply to each of the points made, both theologically as well as politically? And I'd like to dissect this in the following stages. Number one, how is the first point about Iran being a former Sunni majority country still something that hurts the Salafi? Number two, what is it about Iran's theology, Ahl al-Shirk and Ahl al-Bid'ah, where the Salafi opposes? Number three, how has Iran tried to even curtail some of the animosity that has existed over the past 45 years with non-Shia? Number four, Iran's involvement in Iraq. Did Iran butcher Sunnis in Mosul and in Tikrit and in Ramadi and in Fallujah? Number five, Iran's involvement in Syria. Did Iran butcher Syrians who were Sunni simply because they were Sunni? And what was Iran's opinion and the opinion of their counterparts in Lebanon and their counterparts in other areas? Did these proxies come forward and commit assassinations and executions? And number six, how is it that a person can see even within Salafi thought the extremism that could lead them to justifying even the killing of the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi? Let's examine this and dissect the topic in complete depth. When a person looks at the hatred from the Salafi towards Iran, the first question is, why do they have such hatred? The first answer is because Iran was formerly a majority Sunni country. That would be hard to believe today. Today, when you look at Iran, Iran is 95% Shia today. Iran of yesteryear was majority Sunni. Some of the greatest scholars to have ever lived in Sunni history were Iranians. Sometimes you'd think that some of the greatest scholars were what? Maybe they were, for example, from the Hijaz, maybe from North Africa, maybe from other parts. No. Some of the most famous Sunni scholars were Iranians. If you were to ask yourself now, which Sunni Iranian scholars can you name? Famous Sunni scholars who were Iranian, either who spoke Iranian or lived in greater Iran. Of course, the geography has changed the maps. But let's say greater Iran involved Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, and so on and so forth. Or they were of those who had culture which was Persian. Who are the most famous Sunni ulama who are originally Iranian? The first of them is, of course, the author of Sahih al-Bukhari. Muhammad bin Ismail al-Bukhari is from Bukhara. Bukhara today, you could go towards Uzbekistan. But originally that was part of greater Iran. That Sahih al-Bukhari is written by not an Iraqi, not Lebanese, not Syrian, not Pakistani. Sahih al-Bukhari is written by an Iranian. The most famous book after the Quran in the Sunni world is written by an Iranian. Muhammad bin Ismail al-Bukhari was from where? Was from Uzbekistan. That's number one. The other most famous book in the Sunni world after the Quran, what's it called? Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim is authored by who? Muslim bin Hajjaj and Nisapuri. Where's Nisapur? Mashhad. Mashhad al-Rida alayhi salam. Mashhad al-Rida, Nisapur, Khorasan province. The second most famous book in the Sunni world is authored by who? By Muslim bin Hajjaj and Nisapuri. Again, number two, Iranian. At-Tirmidhi, you have Sunan at-Tirmidhi. Tirmidhi, again from the Uzbekistan area. Another of the Sahih books, Ibn Majah. You sometimes hear the Sunan of Ibn Majah. Ibn Majah, what's his surname? Is his surname Karbala'i? Is his surname Najafi? Is his surname Kadmawi? Is his surname Lahori? Is his surname what? Qazwini. Qazwin is where? Iran. Caspian. Qazwin. Ibn Majah, Iranian. Bukhari, Iranian. Muslim, Iranian. Tirmidhi, Iranian. Abu Dawood, As-Sijistani. Sistan. Do we have an Ayatollah who's from Sistan or no? Ayatollah al-Sistani. Ayatollah al-Sistani is from where? From Sistan in Iran. Therefore you found amongst the 6 Sahih books, I've got Iranian. Then I've got other scholars, philosophers, mufassirun of the Quran. How many of you have heard of Ghazali? Yes, many times you hear people quoting Imam al-Ghazali. Even sometimes the Shia lower themselves and they have to always be good with everybody and say Imam al-Ghazali, Shaykh al-Ghazali. The madhab of Palestine is not the madhab of Iran.